Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatye Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paranparam Vande Guru Paranparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Loka Shankaram Samasta Jana Kalyani Nirtam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha Om Sri Tapovana Sishyaya Namaha Hari Om. We are doing Chandogya Upanishad, chapter 6. So before we proceed, let us chant the Shanti Patha for Chandogya Upanishad. Can you highlight that? Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshushrotramadho Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahmopanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Ma Brahma Nirakarot Anirakaranamastu Nirakaranam Me Astu Tadatmani Nirate Ya Upanishatsu Dharmaha Te Mai Santu Te Mai Santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. Now we have done so far up to the 5th section, 3rd mantra we have done. I want to give a little bit of a background because today is also happens to be Guru Purnima. So few words leading to this pravachan today. This Upanishad is starting with the Adi Daivika matter related to spiritual self. Adi Daivika. That is called Sat. We don't need to show this yet. I will tell you when we show this, please. So Adi, please highlight me if you can. So that is what. So Adi Daivika. Then in the first section, it is introduction. And the second section, the creation used Bhagavan by Bhagavan is described. He made a sankalpa that may be many. And then he created fire and he entered that. And he created water and he entered that. And he created Prithvi and he entered. So these are subtle form. And then he grassified them to create the grass elements. And then the grass elements combine further to create the matter. That far is Adi Bhautika. Then the grass matter also is the material that creates us as the Adhyatmika. Means an individual body, mind, and intellect. So you don't need to project it now. I will tell you when to project it. Okay, please. Just right now, I'm going to give you introduction. I will tell you when to project it. So It's not necessary because it is distracting. So let us just, can you just highlight me?
Yeah, you're highlighted.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So the question I have is this: right now you're also showing the mantra number 4. You don't need to show that. I will tell you when to show
But
it.
I stopped sharing.
Please, that part you can stop. It is distracting.
Okay. Is it okay now?
No, I can still see it unless there is
I stopped sharing.
that part. The mantra part you don't need to show right now.
I'm still sharing. Stop sharing.
Okay, that's yeah. So I wanted to say a few more words about, because today is Guru Purnima, some more a broader introduction from what we learned in the past. So fundamentally, Adi Adi Daivika, the whole universe is fundamentally a impersonal consciousness and awareness. I will repeat that: impersonal consciousness and awareness. That means from there, the world arises, and that includes us also. World is, you can call it Adi Bhautika, made of matter. And then Adhyatmika, within that, we call ourselves me, my body, my mind, my intellect. This is Adhyatmika. Upanishad is going in the order. Adi Bhautika, it first talked about. And it has started creation. And that creation is the Adi Bhautika. And then how it creates individual Adhyatmika is also presented. We are right now in that section. But the purpose of the Upanishad is to indicate us how to go back to who we are. That's the purpose of Upanishad. Who we are that Adi Daivika that still exists as impersonal consciousness awareness, or impersonal consciousness and existence. Right now. But our attention is only on the personalized consciousness and awareness. Consequently, we do not know who we really are. And secondly, our consciousness is through the personalized awareness and existence, we also relate ourselves only to the matter outside. But we are not knowing who we really are. Once we know who we really are, we actually attain the true peace and security and fearlessness. We have seen from Kena Upanishad, which we have done before, about the impersonal existence consciousness. The purpose of the Guru, our Guru Parampara, is to lead us from where we are to who we should be. And that is liberation. So a couple of slokas from mantras from Kena Upanishad I will read. Natatta chakshur gacchati, that for impersonal self, not the self that I see, I am so and so. Before that is born, there is an impersonal presence and self, existence it's called. Natatta chakshur gachati. That is not object. You cannot see that. That's why guru is needed. Nava gachati. It cannot be spoken of in words because it is you. When everything personalized stops, you are that. No manaha, even the mind, as we think, mind, objectively oriented mind, cannot go there. Na vidmaha na vijanimaha yadhaitat anusishyat. The teacher of Keno Upanishad is saying, we really do not know how to teach this. Then he clarifies that further. One more mantra. Anyadeva tad viditat adho aviditat adhi. Your true self, when your mind stops, when you become yourself, is your true self. Impersonal self, pure existence. Which is true self. That is, he says, Anyadeva tat viditat. It is different from what is known. Known means an object. It is not something you know. So if you categorize the world, you have normally two categories. One category is what you know. Other category is what you do not know. Suppose you know English, you don't know French. You know that you don't know French, right? So the whole universe can be classified into two things for every one of us. What I know, what I do not know. The Upanishad is saying, the Kena Upanishad, it is different from what you know and also different from what you do not know. Iti sushma purvesham enastad vyacha chakshire. That is how we heard from the people who taught us, Guru Parampara. Sadashiva Samarambham, Shankaracharya, Asmadacharya Parintam Vande. But they have acknowledged this is what we heard from our teachers. They are not saying I am saying this. Now, what it really means is, it is not an object to know, it is you. Impersonal presence before you define I am so and so, where the sense of presence begins. Yeah. Only Guru can lead you there, because even if you understand, you have to focus by Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana and own it. That is called true knowledge. That's pure presence, pure awareness is infinite. That is the one, it becomes many. But you are that before it became many. We already did Kena Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad and Kathopanishad before. So I'm taking a little bit of time to give clarity where we are going once again. By the grace of Guru Parampara, we did all this. So I'm just putting a little bit of time, taking clarity, Adi Daiva. He says, in the Mundaka Upanishad, we have done this Yattadagdreshyam, Agrahyam, Agotram, Avarnam, Achakshuhu, Achakshusrotram, Tadapani Padam, Nityam, Vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam tadavyayam yadbhuta yonim paripashyanti dhiraha. The extra very great mantra. That's why, see, that particular principle, which is your impersonal self, existence, not personalized existence. Personalized existence because of body, mind, intellect. Before there came, taken as though you're aware, but in sleep. That's what Maharshi said. Upanishads also say. Your awareness is there, but your mind is not there. But your intellect, your clarity of existence is there. That is all pervading. From there, everybody rises up. So, yet, adresham, it is not a mentally, it is not something you see as an object, but it is you. That state is perfect. Agrahyam, you cannot grasp it. Agotram, it has no birth and death. Look at the power of this. You are that. Avarnam, it has no characteristics. Gunas. Achakshusrotram, it is not a physical thing like with the eyes and ears. Tadapani padam, without any hands and legs. Then what is this? Nityam, ever existent. That consciousness, bliss, awareness, impersonalized. Impersonal, pure presence. That is Nityam. Your body might go, that remains. Your body operates in that. Kenopanishad tells that also. Vibhum, it's all pervading. Because of that, everything is have movement, capacity. Vividham bhavati vibhum. Sarvagatam, all pervading. Susukshmam, very, very, very subtle. Why is it subtle? Personalized. Things becomes gross. That is what our Upanishad has explained. Creation is grossness, whereas before it creation, it is pure existence consciousness. Tad avyayam does not decay. It has no birth, so it has no decay. Yad bhuta yonim, from which everything is born. Everything appears. So in your consciousness, before you define yourself as so and so, you existed. You are cutting down yourself when you identify yourself with body, mind, intellect. And then you become a pitiable jiva, complaining, depressing. But none of them have reality without the pure presence. Once you identify with that, and we talked about it elaborately in the past, paripashyanti dhira. Once you realize that, you can see it everywhere. Because you have different eyes, as though you are not looking through the lens of your body mind. You are seeing through the lens of oneness. That's called paripashyanti dhira. Shiva. So basically, that is that from which manifestation takes place. But our eyes are not on consciousness and pure presence. Not when I say eye, not the physical eye, our jnana eye. Jnana chakshu, awareness. Behind eyes, because of which eyes can see that consciousness. When you shift your attention to the Sukshma Buddhi, you actually see through the universe as a substratum in which everything rises, your thoughts, your body. So you become free. Then you see this is just not the name and form in you. Kathopanishad, I will take one mantra. It says, Yataschodeti Suryaha Astam Yatra Jagachati Tam Devaha Sarve Arpita Tam Natyeti Kasyana Etad Vaitat. Yatascha Udeti Suryaha Astam Yatra Jagachati. This is that principle from which even sun rises. Sun is born. Whole universe is nothing but classified elements, including sun. And then we saw in this Chandogya Upanishad earlier, elements itself are created by Bhagavan. So sun is also nothing but a product of elements. So from Bhagavan even sun appeared. And sun also eventually at the end of creation also goes back into Bhagavan only. That Bhagavan is Adi Daiva. All pervading presence. Tam devaha sarve arpitaha. Tam. That which all devatas. Devatas means the powers behind operation of the universe. Behind the mind. That devata is called Chandrama, moon. Behind the intellect, devata is sun. The power of operation behind a particular physical entity, which we don't see, but it operates it. It gets power from where? From pure consciousness, impersonal consciousness and presence, existence. It's called Sat and Chit, Brahman. Sat. Tade tamdeva sarve arpitaha. In that everything is arranged. So everything in the world exists in consciousness and existence. That consciousness existence is you and I as our impersonal self, not personal self, which I have called pure presence, without any contamination by identification. Natyeti kasyana, nothing exceeds that. The Kathopanishad added it. And the Kathopanishad, next mantra Kathopanishad says, Yat eveha tadamutra, yadamutra tat anviha, murtyoho sa murtyumapnoti, ya iha naneva pashyati. Basically, that mantra is saying that is present everywhere. It is here and also heaven. What is there? It is here. That is Atman. Be pure presence. Naneva person who sees multiplicity here, like you, me, divided into in consciousness, in existence, but through our mind and intellect, and with our body, when you identify, then you see multiplicity. When those who see multiplicity go from death to death. That's what. So the job of Guru Parampara, it is they preserved this in the Vedas and Upanishads. This knowledge is being transmitted to us through love by our Guru Parampara. And we are fortunate to receive it even today, because it came originally from Bhagavan himself, this knowledge that Bhagavan is saying you are, and Upanishad is trying to tell you to take back to himself. So one mantra, the Sloka Guru, the definition of Guru, Gukaras Chandakarastu, Rukaraha Tat Nirodhakaha. Gu means Andhakara, means darkness. In this context, thinking this is me. This has a history of me and mine. That's all we relate. that is personalized self. Rukaras tat nirodhakaha. Ru represents that person who removes the darkness. He removes the darkness of identifications with smallness and liberates you. Otherwise, you would never know, because it is not an object, it is you. Not you as you think you today, but you without all these superimpositions on your identity, true identity, impersonal self. Andhakara vinashitvat guru rityabhidhiyate. Because he removes that andhakara and takes you to you who you are, is called Guru. That's why Sadashiva Samarambham, Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam, Vande Guru Paramparam, Vande Guru Paramparam. Our happiness, even though whatever we have today, is probably because what we heard a little bit, learned for a little bit here and there, but at the same time, what we learned, and then what is given to us by the grace of God and by Pura Punya. But if we make most of it, he can be liberated while alive now itself. This is Adi Daivaka. Now, Adi Bhautika is actually Upanishad also has talked about. So Guru also comes under Adi Daivaka, believe me. Anybody who removes Andhakara is God. Devata means Dotanath Deva, who gives light of knowledge. Pitrudevo Bhava, Atma, Matrudevo Bhava, Gurudevo Bhava. Guru is special in that context. It takes you back to your true existence, which is infinite. Anyway, so Adi Bhautika also we talked about it in the up to the up to fourth chapter we have also Adi Dhaivika, Adi Bhautika are talked about it. So Adhyatmika we are actually doing in the fifth section. In the fifth section, in Chandogya Upanishad, in the fifth section, he is explaining to his son, Uddhalaka explaining his son, what do you eat? Prudhvi. See, it said Anna, but Prudhvi, solid, whatever you take, it becomes divided into three parts. The grossest part is discarded as stools or feces, whatever you call it. And then the middle part is deposited into your body as flesh. And then the finest part, it's split into three parts. And the finest part, subtlest part becomes manas. Manas is in heart. Here is brain, Western says brain, but not manas, mind is here. Whatever you drink, also divided into three parts. So the Adhyatmika is being described, how we are formed. Whatever we drink is also split into three parts. Grossest, middle, and subtlest. Grossest becomes urine. Middle part becomes blood. And the finest part becomes prana. Prana means our energy principle in our body. Physiological system, I think it is called. All movements and digestion, all these things. And then whatever we, tejas in the context, drinking tejas means when we drink ghee, oils, they actually, they are elements of, they directly burn. When you put a wick or something, they support fire. That's why it's called tejas. It also divided into three parts. The grossest part becomes our bones. And the middle part becomes bone marrow. And the finest part becomes speech, walk. In the olden days, they used to say, you drink a lot of ghee if you want to learn Vedas. Those pregnant women, they used to give extra ghee because they want the children to be born with good speech capacity and good bones and good intellect. Ghee is considered to be very, very good for our development of children as well as for adults, maintaining health. So, so, now this part is talking about the Adhyatmika part is being discussed. How the creation of the world is also discussed. The purpose of this discussion is not to give you a physics or chemistry of the world. The purpose of this discussion is all of them have arisen out of consciousness existence, which is Brahman. In his leadership, in his presence, they all came into existence. In every one of them, he is present. Now you have to, if you go back, you go back to yourself, which is God himself. So now we're going to go back to who you are by discarding all of them as appearances in you. So we did 3 mantras. Let us do the 4th mantra now of the 5th section. Can we show 4th mantra? Okay, let me read it. Maybe there is some problem. Okay. Annamayagam hi sobhya manaha annamayagam hi somya manaha apomaya pranaha tejomayi vagiti. Yes. Bhuya evama bhagwan vijnapayatu iti tatha somya iti hovacha. Let me read again. अन्नमयं हि सौम्य मनः आपोमयः प्राणः तेजोमयी वागिति भूय एव भगवान् विज्ञापयतु इति तथा सौम्य इति होवाच. Okay, let us go back. Okay, thank you. So we are done. So can you go back? You can remove the projection of the mantra now. So when we finish the chanting, yes, thank you. So he is now summarizing what he taught in this section. He's saying, hey Soumya, Soumya means a dear boy, a gentle boy. He's teaching his son, right? That's it. Annamayam hi Soumya manaha. Mind, the subtlest part of the Prithvi element, solid food we take, is manas. He is summarizing it. It's very important. This will come next, follow up. Apomayaha pranaha. Prana, the energizing capacity for all our limbs and all your actions, is made of, is due to, not made of, is due to the power of apa. Apas means water. Tejomayi vag iti. Vak is effect of tejas, fire element. This Sanskrit has 3 lingas: Pullinga, Strilinga, Napunsalinga. That's how Sanskrit, each, the combination, the adjectives also look different. Here, Manaha is neuter, Napunsalinga, neuter linga. So, Annamayam, Mayam, whereas Apomayaha Pranaha, Prana is the Pullinga. So, Apomayaha Pranaha. Maya is in three lingas. Is Mayam, Mayaha, Mayi, Strilingam. Vak is Strilinga. That's why it's called Pranaha Tejo Mayi, Vak. Lingas are changed because the same word Maya, Mayaha, Mayam, Mayi. Because Vak is Strilinga. Pranaha is Pullinga. And Manaha is Napunsalinga. That's why it is changed. That's what it is. Then he summarized this. Manas is due to the solid we take. Prana is due to liquids we take. Speech is due to oily food we take, let us say. That gives you fire element. This is summarized. Then the boy, he got a little bit, because he has not studied this earlier, he got a little bit confused. So he asked a question, Bhuya eva Bhagavan Vijñapayatu iti. He said, Bhagavan, he is referring to his guru, father here, Bhagavan, Bhuya eva Vijñapayatu. Please tell it again. Explain further. This is very interesting. The way he phrased it is interesting. If he had said, I understood it, then there is no need to say further. If he say, I don't understand it, then he was, oh, this guy is not ready for it. But he didn't say that way. He said, bhuya eva vijñapayatu. You tell again. Explain further, he said. That means this guy is getting it. The father said, Tadha somya iti o vacha. Uvacha ha. Uvacha ha. The father said, okay, I will do that. Okay. So this completes the fifth section. Now we go to the sixth section. Can we go to the next section? So next section, the father wants to explain further how it works. Yes. How it works. Because for the boy, he is obviously trying to connect how something gets split into three parts, how and it happens like this. It was not obvious to him. So he says, so we will chant first two mantras. Okay. Let me read the first. Dadhnaha somya madhyamanasya yo anima sa urdhva samudishati tat sarpir bhavati. Dadhna somya madhyamanasya yo anima sa urdhva samudishati tat sarpir bhavati. Let us do the next mantra also. Number 2. एवमेव खलु सौम्य अन्नस्य अस्यमानस्य यो अनिमा सह ऊर्ध्वः समुदिशति तन्मनो भवति. Let's go to next mantra also. I will read the second time. Yeah. Okay. एवमेव खलु सौम्य अन्नस्य अस्यमानस्य यो अनिमा स ऊर्ध्वः समुदिशति तन्मनो भवति. That's right. Number 3, okay, good, it's already there. Upon somya piyamanam yo animanaha sa urdhva samudishati sa prano bhavati. Number 4, yes, okay, yeah. Tejasaha somya asyamanasya yo anima sa urdhva samudishati sa vad bhavati. Number 5, okay, number 5 is also there. Okay, number 4. Okay, number 5 is missing. Don't worry. It's just a summary only. Tejasaha somya asyamanasya yo anima sa urdhva samudishati sa vag bhavati. Annamayam hi somya manaha apomaya pranaha tejomayi vagiti bhuya eva ma bhagavan vijñapayati tvati tatha somya iti ho vacha. So basically that's repeated from the previous mantra. Okay, so we read the whole thing. I'm now explaining. So the father, okay, let me highlight again. Can you, okay. The father now felt, okay, the boy is understanding, is giving some positive signals. So let me give him an example to make the point so that he would connect it. Say, he said, Dadhanaha Somya Madhyamanasya. The yogurt, dahi yogurt, Dadhamanasya, that which is churned, Dadhanaha, yogurt which is churned, Dadhamanasya. What happens? Your anima, in that, whatever is fine, saha urdhva samudishati. It rises to the top. Tat sarpir bhavati. That is nothing but butter. When you churn yogurt, dahi, in Telugu it's called peru. When you churn it, whatever is finest in there rises to the top. And in this context, it is butter. Butter is completely different. It tastes very different from dahi. Yogurt tastes very different. But it came out of matter. Same. It's very different taste and it has a characteristics, characteristics also different. He gave this example. Why? Because he's telling him, Evameva, in the same way, Khalu, indeed, Somya Annasya Ashyamanasya. The solid food, Anna here Prithvi, actually, elemental, grassified Prithvi. That's what the conversation went. Anima urdhva, the finest of this grassified solid rises. And then it becomes manaha. Manas. Where is churning going on? In our stomach. And then fine thing is rising. Grass part is dropping as feces or stools. And then middle part is circulating, forming as so Bhagavan, Ham Vaishwanaro Bhutva, Praninam Dehamashritah, Pranapana Samayuktah, Pachamyannam Chaturvidham, 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan, he is doing the work for us and is raising it to the heart center for Manas. So it is also rising. Subtle part always rises. That's how it happens. He's explaining his son. Then apam soumya piyamanam yo anima saha urdhva samudishati. Sa prano bhavati. Water that we have taken, when it is actually processed in the stomach, the fine part will rise up and make the prana, physiological functional energy. Sa prana bhavati. Tejasaha somya asyamanasya Yo anima sa urdha samudishati savag bhavati. The oil or tejas eyes, one that we consume like ghee, when it is become churned, the fine part becomes speech. It's also above. Then he concludes, Annamayam is Somya Manaha. He repeating the whatever he said before previous section. He repeat. That's why it's not projected here. Annamayam is Somya Manaha. Mind is nothing but a product of Manas. Sorry, the other way around. Manas is nothing but a product of solid food. Apomayaha pranaha. Our prana shakti is product of apas, means water, liquids in this context. Pranaha tejomayi vagiti. Sorry, tejomayi vagiti. Vak is nothing but made of tejas, oils, and ghee. Okay. Now the boy, I think, got it a little bit better. So, see, we are used to seeing A to B. That's all we normally see. If I take a piece of gold and convert into bangle, I can say bangle is made of gold. But if I make some more changes, like middle, gross, and sort of, no, suddenly if I make an alloy or if I mix up with something else and dilute it further, or if I make it very much finer and disperse in somewhere, then I cannot connect it. In the same way, the boy happened the same thing. Several steps have taken. So he cannot connect how mind came out of solid food. So he has to explain to him it is just like when you churn something, it separates into various levels of grossness. In the same way, food and water and oils change into their character. And then you still form the whole thing using those three ingredients that we take: solids, liquids, and oils. See, oils and water, they don't mix, that's why. So there are three characteristics here. Okay. So that's a, so here he again concluded that is how it is. Then the boy once again said, Bhuya eva ma Bhagavan Vijnapayatu iti tadha Somya hovacha. The boy said again, sir, please further explain this. But before I go to next section, you have to do not forget what is the purpose of all this. The purpose of all this is Stula Sarira is the effect, Karyam, product. Behind this is Sukshma Sarira, ungrassified elements. Fire, water, and Annam. Tejo Bannam, they call it in the Upanishad, they call it. And the cause behind them, so Sukshma Sarira is made of them. The cause of them is Brahman. So don't focus on the physics and chemistry, but try to go back. This all happening for a plan. It started from Brahman, Adi Daivika. I gave example. Even sun has come. So even our body has come out of it. Through the grassified solids. And those grassified solids split into our system. So don't get lost into the details of how matter has formed, how body has formed, how mind has, which is important to know, but everything is happening in the presence of Bhagavan. He is manifesting himself through all these into us. His all pervading intelligence is still operating. You have to go back. The Sukshma Sarira means your manas, mind and intellect. Reflect. The grace of God, we got all this. He is doing all the work by digesting and rising, creating the mind, and then using that mind, you can listen, and then you can go back through the teachings of Guru Parampara. So the body is due to grassified elements. Grassified elements are due to ungrassified elements. And ungrassified elements are due to Brahman, which I have started saying impersonal presence or consciousness, self. When it becomes personalized, then either Sushma mind will come and our thoughts will come. Further personalized, we get body will come and body related thoughts will come. They limit our total presence of infinite presence, which I mentioned in the past today. So we should not forget where we are going. So basically, it continue to say Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahma still existence consciousness is there. In that, all these things are arising. Through intelligence, using our karma. We talked about in the previous sections. So how does the whole thing work? The promise of this Upanishad is by knowing one, everything that you never heard becomes as though heard. Everything you never thought of becomes as though thought of. Everything you don't know becomes known. This is the promise he made in section 1. How it happens is when you know cause, all the effects are known. Cause is that impersonal presence, self, which you call Shiva, you can call it. Pure being before any personalized identifications. So, Eka Karana Vijnanena, by knowing that cause, infinite existence consciousness, Sarvakarya Vijnanam Bhavati. You know everything that is a product. Just like if you know all the waves are nothing but water, once you know water, all the waves are known. You don't have to know every wave. In the same way, the cause is known as Shiva in your heart, who is all pervading, but beyond words, but you, beyond what is known, what is unknown, but it is you. Before the definitions start, that presence. In that, everything appears. Without that, nothing is there. Without water, no waves is possible. Without Brahman, you are the matter and mind, ideas, everything exists in Brahman. Even sun, even your. That Brahman is you. That's what is where is going. So all this is mithya, it appearance in Brahman. So the boy is getting there, but still he wanted some further clarification. So I think we have about 5 more minutes. What now happens is the father decides to do an experiment with him because he does not correctly understand what manas is. See, on this point, there's a lot of confusion. All of us, because we are born in this world of science and technology, and then our mind is conditioned by what we hear. By and large, when you say mind is a product of fine matter, what it's saying is mind is not conscious. Mind is jada. It dances in the presence of consciousness that I supply. Like light. And without light, you cannot see anything, but we don't pay attention to the light. You supply consciousness. In that presence, consciousness, your mind works. But scientists think mind is matter. It is true to that extent. But scientists don't think, they think when the body drops, mind also goes. Vedanta says no. Subtle body is there and it remains. That's where science. So my scientists, so subtle mind they don't. They only think of gross mind as mind, brain. There's a lot of confusion. That's why the next mantra is very important. Whereas in Buddhists, they think mind that is activated by consciousness is Vijnanavada. That is what life, Atma is that. That's what they think. Vedanta says no. Atma is like light, mind is just like a machine that is being operated. Mind has no life. But Buddhists don't do. They combine these two and then say Vijnana is Atma. There is Nyaya and Vaiseshikas. They think mind is made of anus. Anus means very, 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 very finest matter that cannot be broken further. Vaiseshikas. And they do say it is jada. Jada means it's not conscious. They agree with that. But they think it is nityam. But Vedanta says mind can be negated. Atma remains. It is anitya, mind anitya. And the next chapter we are going to say will prove that. They say mind is also made of fine, unbreakable matter. The Sankhya and Nyaya and Vaiseshikas. Whereas Vedanta says mind is made of matter, but it changes. It has birth and death. It can be negated. While you are alive, you can go to consciousness and be that. Pure self, pure presence. So there's a lot of confusion about mind. Kathopanishad also we saw that. Bhagavan Shankaracharya, long time ago, in a very elaborate commentary, he writes. See, now, for example, now a lot of people think computers, let us say, for example, they can do so many activities that people do. And Shankaracharya says, still there is jada. But we think it is Chaitanya. No. That's not the sign of Chaitanya. Somebody programmed it. That's why it is doing it. But it has Chaitanya means the sense of I am. First person's experience. Computer never has that. That I am is the first person experience. So Vedanta Shastra says, in the presence of I am, the world dances. The dancing world is mother. But she depends upon that infinite consciousness existence. Then that existence principle she manipulates into world. We saw that in the previous discussions. But Maya can be ended. All the products. Chapter 13, Sri Krishna gives about 24. Prakriti, concept. In that it also comes. Hankara is also part of. So all of these things can be negated. Okay. So Vedanta very clearly says, simply because it is functionally active does not mean it is Atman. Atman is purely impersonal, infinite conscious presence. Anything that has the element of me is only appearance, mithya. Okay, that we have to stick in our mind. Meditation also should be like that. Okay. Always be aware that you are that infinite presence. And then let the matter come and go. Thoughts come and go. They don't affect you, but you can be functional. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Sri Gurubhyo Namaskaram, Guruji.
Harihi Om. You want to